16-bit arcade graphics.
The 30th anniversary Genesis does.
16-bit action.
The 30th anniversary Genesis
Does.
Genesis
Does.
Genesis
Does.
Genesis
Does.
Genesis does.
Get Golden Axe, Shinobi 3, Phantasy Star 4, Streets of Rage 2, Shining Force, and many more. Only with the Genesis Mini. 30 years young. Pre-order a 16-bit Genesis Mini now and get 40 legendary games plus 2 bonus games.
Genesis does.
Alright, hey everybody, it's your boy, Robbie P2 here. So Robbie P2 families, always please check in down below and welcome to a little thing we rarely ever do on my channel, but you know, sometimes we want to step outside food vlogs and karaoke and you know, do something a little, you know, do something a little just a little bit different. So, first, and of course, this be an unboxing video. So, now, first off here, I'm going to take y'all back to a time when video games ruled the world. We're talking about, like, way back here, I think it was in the 70s, you know, we had, you know, when Atari originally started. So Atari, you know, you would first see them in like the video game arcades. They would become a thing here, and then eventually they decided to make consoles. And you know, decided to decide, how would you like to bring the video arcade experience home? You know, maybe have something to play at home, and you know, just plug into your, like, you know, your television, set it up here. So, had a little struggle here. The 80s is actually where it started to kick off a little bit, because like we had the Atari, like the old Atari 2600, it had interchangeable consoles, interchangeable cartridges and everything here, but then apparently there's so many consoles, so many cartridges, consumers are overwhelmed, and they just stopped buying into video games, and that led to the crash in 1983. But with like a lot of companies dying out, and Atari's still struggling. However, two companies who were starting up at the time here and doing well in Japan came through in America after having to deal with legislation, deal with our culture, deal with several changes, came through and put video games pretty much back on the map here. So those two companies, in this case, Nintendo and Sega. And cool. And then all of a sudden, so we're going, I guess in this case, we're going back to 1989, and, you know, hopefully, well, let's see, now, first off, of course, let's see, I was born in 85, that's the year Nintendo Entertainment System launched. So that is the video game crash of 1983. Had something to do with Nintendo and Sega and how they were going to approach coming here in America. So they had everything, like, you know, influence design of the console, all the naming, and everything there. So that's been a little reason why Nintendo decided to call theirs entertainment system. And if you saw like the little toaster thing, it was a door that flips up, you put the cartridge in, press down, power it on here. The reason behind that is that they wanted it to make it look more like a piece of high-end electronic equipment, like something that's going to see the entertainment system. They didn't want it to be something that can be mistaken as a toy, because that would have been associated with video games, therefore it wouldn't sell. And then Sega tried with the Master System. Good launch, but apparently didn't hold up to Nintendo. Then Sega came out in 1989, produced probably their most successful console, or in this case, series of consoles of all time, the Genesis. And there's so many games, there's so many add-ons. Of course, the Model 1 Genesis, a lot of people were talking about so much here, and then now, let's see, now we got, it just goes to prove video games have come a long way altogether. So, going from cartridges, CDs, with the first PlayStation, and then now there's online play. And then now, let's see, there's still online play and still PlayStation, latest Xbox, which latest ones I think they're on the 4th or 5th version have just come out. But we're also going to go the other way here, because 2016 was the resurgence of little retro design consoles, starting with NES Classic, fortunately short supply. And then Nintendo did it again with SNES Mini, and Sony wanted to get their hand in with the PlayStation Classic Retro Console, and then now, who's probably getting in on this game here, despite having living licensed out to third-party companies here that made so many clone consoles, which range from okay to mediocre to just awful. Look what UPS brought me from BestBuy.com. Finally, I decided I'm gonna get into having a little retro console here now. This is, I figured, even though I grew up playing mostly in Nintendo, so did a few of my friends, but also I think I had some friends and family that had originally like a Model 1 Genesis. So this may bring back a few memories here. And, of course, we're going to unbox this as well. So, now, Genesis here. You probably saw the commercial. And, so, it's got the retro styling, everything. It says, join the 16-bit revolution. Matter of fact, I might as well just say rejoin the 16-bit revolution, because this is the 30th anniversary. This commemorates 30th anniversary of Sega releasing the Genesis, and of course, they had to, they had to do it right. So they figured, let's put 42 games on this whole thing here, including some very popular titles, like I'll name a few: Echo the Dolphin, The Castle of Illusion, and World of Illusion, starring Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck from Disney characters. There's Alex Kidd in here. Let's see. Altered Beast, Golden Axe on here, Columns, and of course, no Sega library is complete without Sonic the Hedgehog, who's basically their mascot. He's like their Sonic is to Sega like Mario is to Nintendo, pretty much. No collection is ever complete without this character. And now, just to do it right, Sega, of course, is still, originally has the logo and everything. It's Rated T for teen? Wow, never saw a console get rated, but considering most of the games, there's a reason behind that. With electronic safety ratings board, Sega was obviously behind that organization. There's a lot of companies behind that. And let's see, what's going to say about this here? So, now, again, look at the fine print here. This is a naming 16-bit entertainment system. Again, that's because when the original was released, it came out just after the video game crash in the 80s. So it didn't want to be like, it's also Sega, which took it from Nintendo. So it wanted to be marketed as more consumer electronics and entertainment rather than toys, because that would associate back to video games, and retailers were, in this case, discontinuing sale of and they didn't really want to stock more video games. So, okay, so now look at this package here. It is the miniature version of the Sega Genesis. There some good reviews about it. I figured I want to get in on unbox it myself here, and of course, as you see here, you can probably see a little further, but I decided let's unbox this thing already. So, of course, this comes with 2 controllers and the console itself, plus also you need connectivity. So now, I'll show you what you get in the box here. And of course, this one was regular price, about $80 retail. I got mine on sale $50 from Best Buy and BestBuy.com. Now, of course, you do get your owner's manual and with website and support in case anything goes wrong. And this time it is, well, it's just in the booklet. I probably remember back then, the 80s video game consoles came with a poster. And Nintendo was definitely known for doing that here. So, and Sega was more known for eventually for the ads pretty much bashing Nintendo left and right. So, and so now for power, let's see here. Power this little thing. You have, let's see here. It is a micro USB cable with Sega branding on the plug. And also, if need be, here's your USB wall adapter. Nice, it comes in. Sony did not include that with their PlayStation Classic. Assuming you probably have a few of those already lying around with, it must look like a smartphone or tablet. Heck, I don't even think they included a power cable. And of course, for connectivity to your television and keep things updated, you get an HDMI cable. And then, now, here's one of Nintendo's first mistakes when they launched the NES Classic. They not only launched it, with one controller in the box, but the controller cord was like only 3 feet long. So you had to buy an extender or send me the console, which, sorry Nintendo, but this is not Japan, alright? So, but Nintendo eventually fixed that, and Sega learned from it. You got a 6-foot-long USB controller that resembles, the 3-button controller from 1989. It's the original Genesis. 2 of them. Get 2 of them. So this way you can have 2-player games. There's also, if need be, they also, I think, Retrobit does make the USB version of the 6 button controller, which you can buy separately. Those are like about $10, something like that. And now, one more thing. And that is, of course, can't play a game without a console. And this, of course, the console, wow, gets its own box. And holy moly, just wow. Fits right in my hand. Not kidding. Just fits like right in my hand to see it. This is like, wow, about 1/10 of the size of the original Model 1 Genesis, that's for sure. But now you can also take a look here and notice that this was designed by Sega, designed by the same people who actually designed the original 1989 one here that this is a replica of. Complete with sliding on and off switch that makes click. It's got the click reset button, and the volume slider. Now, a little heads up here, I heard the volume slider is just there for aesthetics. It doesn't really do anything. All volume is controlled by your television. And now, I'm going to show you another thing here. Let's go and just pull the film off because it's got a shiny front here. Now, on the front, you have the two USB ports. Those are for your controller. And another aesthetic detail. Let's take a look at all the things here. If you own the Model 1, this right here, this little hole that we're pointing at here would actually be the headphone jack, which would explain why I had a volume slider, because if you use headphones, you'd be able to get stereo sound. The original only played in mono. And now backside here, you'd have all your connectivity, which this time again is micro USB for power and HDMI for connectivity to the television. Here's another aesthetic for detail. Now, all games are preloaded, so this is just for decoration. It's got the opening cartridge slot, which you cannot really see. All you see in there is just an empty space. And then, there's one more thing. We can take it off here, because the original had an expansion slot. Let's do this here. Now, we took this off here because, although this is just to resemble where the full-size Model 1 had an expansion slot for a add-on that was produced a little bit later. If you've heard of the Sega CD, that's what the slot was for. So the Sega CD, the nice thing, I guess, about the Sega CD was that it was a CD add-on, so you could play like games on CD without, I guess in this case, and just upgrade your Genesis. Downsides I heard about that is it was kind of big, it was bulky, it could not run solely on power from the Genesis console, so it had to have its own power supply, which, if you want my honest opinion, come to think of it now, if you were to say then it should have just been its own console, its own system, you'd be right. Because I think, if it's got to have its own power supply and everything here, then it should be its own, its own system. There was also another, they also released another add-on in America which only upgraded graphics from 16-bit to 32-bit with what was called 32X, and I heard that also bombed. Because, let's just say here again, came in the later 90s with like CDs trying, like, move on, trying to become a thing. Sega, apparently, they just tried to keep the Genesis alive while possible, to the point it was pretty much on life support, and developers were just moving on. So, in that case. But hey, you know what? Now we got the retro console, so you got 42 games altogether built into this thing. And what I plan to do, if we get enough likes on here, like maybe, let's say 50 likes, 50 thumbs up on this video, I will actually try my best here and do a more full-on review of this. Maybe try to swing my setup here so we can, maybe play some games here for you guys and give a review and everything, and tell you what I think of the system. But in a nutshell, right off the bat, though, I would say, hey, if you want to just, get back in maybe some video gaming, maybe get a, let's see, maybe relive your old school video gaming days with some new school technology, then this be the way to go. It's $50, which I bought from Best Buy. And I'll put a link in the description. So, hope they don't sell out of these very soon, and like Nintendo. So, let me also ask you this here: do you think that Sega will again return to be that really strong company that they once were back in the 90s, with the campaign of saying Genesis does what, how'd it go? Genesis does what Nintendo don't. Or will Sega eventually just stick to their roots again and be a software developer, which they've been since 2000, with after the release of the Dreamcast. So, please let me know what you think in the comments down below. And leave a like here. If you get 50 likes, I'll do a review on this thing. If you also want to see me some more unboxing videos, or if you want to see, me step out of the realm of food vlogs and everything. So, that's about it here. I do want to thank you guys again for watching this unboxing. Hopefully we'll have some fun, because I'm going to go play some games. So, and, of course, speaking of games, I'm going to put a full list of all 42 games down below as well. So, that's it. Thank y'all for watching this here. Stay happy, stay safe, and stay positive. Robbie P2 out.
Genesis does.
16-bit arcade graphics.
You can't do this on Nintendo. Genesis does.
16-bit sports action.
You can't do this on Nintendo. Genesis
Does.
Genesis
Does.
Genesis
Does.
Genesis
Does.
Genesis does.
Get Joe Montana free, Pat Riley free, Buster Douglas free, Super Monaco GP free, or Columns free. What Nintendo don't. Buy a 16-bit Genesis system between now and October 31st and get an extra game.